Hi, my name's Bobby Dilly, and I'd like to share my experience with Parnall Law Firm. I was on my way home, and I was hit by a drunk driver who was traveling 115 miles an hour. He was here in Albuquerque. My vehicle tumbled side over side and end over end right after I went through the big eye. It hit the Jersey barrier. It vaulted all the way to the top of a lamp pole, broke the lamp pole, slammed on its roof, and slid. As it slid, the roof peeled off, and my head was dragged on the road for what was measured 250 feet. When the state police officer got to the scene, he found that my neck was broken, my C3, 4, 5, and 6 were broken. My arm was crushed. And of course, my head was bleeding. All of the right side of my head had been dragged on the pavement as my vehicle slid. I was pronounced dead 3 times that night. On my Friday night, I went through the big eye, and I woke up 3.5 weeks later. It took me 3 months to be able to talk and to remember my own name. This is how tragic the wreck was. And numerous surgeries on my spine, my neck, and my arm. I spent a good portion of that year in the hospital. When I finally recovered enough to go back home, the doctors had told me that my heart got bruised at the wreck, and it got infected. And my heart had to be removed from my body. I had less than a 1% chance of recovering, they said. But still, that wasn't all of it. The lack of circulation, because my heart had stopped working for a month. My left leg was dying. It had dry gangrene. It regenerated, and half of my left foot had to be removed. My only concern was that I could go home. And I went home. And when I did, I had to learn how to walk all over again. I had to learn how to function. The drunk driver who hit me, she didn't have insurance and she didn't have a job. And I had just clocked out at work. My medical bills were extraordinary. And while I was healing, I was in my own house. I was in my house by myself. But my goal was to go back to work because I knew I would be paying medical bills for the rest of my life. And I had to pay for a prosthetic brace for my foot and all of the other medical bills. I was introduced to Mr. Parnall and the Parnall Law Firm, and I was welcomed in. I felt a sense of relief that something could be done to help me out when I felt I had no end to this. Yes, I'm very satisfied. I'm very, very satisfied the way they work and keep in contact with me, where they help in ways that I didn't imagine I could be helped. And if I could recommend the Parnall Law Firm to anybody, in fact, I have an opportunity to now. I do recommend the Parnall Law Firm to anybody and everybody. If you want help from folks who treat you like family, treat you like you've known them forever, then the Parnall Law Firm is definitely the place to go to. The only thing I'd like to add is I had given up hope on myself, and I felt as though I was by myself, on my own, worried that I would be financially devastated and physically devastated for the rest of my life. Finally, I feel brand new. I feel like my life is back to normal. I feel like I can live life happier, or as happy as I did before the wreck. That's pretty much my story in a nutshell. But because of the Parnall Law Firm, I'm able to live life again. Live a little bit more happier, a lot more happier than I otherwise would have been able to.